the pressure cooker of the Earth's crust. These silent chasms hold the destructive energy capable of reshaping continents.
The wave is invisible until it encounters the coast, where friction forces it skyward in a terrifying final transformation.
We had the data, but lacked the global protocol and the political will to connect the dot in time.
Marine animals, acutely sensitive to acoustic and pressure shifts, often flee the deep hours before the first tremor is even felt on land.
The ocean's withdrawal is the ultimate alarm bell, a phenomenon so unnatural it should trigger panic, yet too often.
From ruins, new life emerged. The scars remain, but the memory of the wave is now etched into every new foundation.
Not all tsunamis are born of plates. Submarine volcanic collapse presents a terrifying, rapid-onset threat with almost no lead time.
Though remote, the risk of an extraterrestrial impact creating a world-ending wave is a scenario that keeps...
When the siren sounds, every second of hesitation translates into a deadly loss of altitude. Vertical evacuation is the only strategy.
We learned that walls are futile. Instead, buildings must be designed to allow the water to pass through, mitigating the catastrophic crushing force.
For communities near the epicenter, the earthquake is the warning. The time between shake and wave is critically short, often minutes or less.
Countless reports detail the strange, uncharacteristic behavior of pets. A final, frantic...
In the abyssal plains, the tsunami is just a barely perceptible, rapid surge of water, hundreds of miles wide.
Effective warning demands accessibility. The message must be instantly understood, overriding the confusion and language barriers.
Alerta de tsunami.
Peringatan tsunami.
Beyond the statistics of loss lie the objects that anchor memory, reminders of the lives interrupted by the sheer suddenness of the event. The dichotomy is chilling, a scene of human leisure juxtaposed with the invisible, ticking countdown of the planet's internal mechanics.
No single nation can bear the burden of global monitoring. The future of survival depends on a unified border.
The threat doesn't end at the coastline. Rivers and estuaries become deadly highways, carrying the ocean's fury.
Official warnings are paramount, but local knowledge, the stories passed down, the reckoned unusual tides.
Local bathymetry, the shape of the seabed, can act like a funnel, multiplying a modest wave into a...
The true destructive power is not just the water, but the millions of tons of debris it carries, acting like...
The warnings were often buried in academic papers, dismissed by governments focused on immediate economic consumption.
The canvas is painted only by time and pressure.
Modern technology puts the warning directly in our hands, bypassing infrastructure failures, but requiring instant, responsible action from every individual.
Those at sea often experience the tsunami as a rapid, violent swell, highlighting that the danger is concentrated near the continental shelf.
P-wave, an immediate seismic messenger, can provide crucial seconds of warning to coastal areas if detected and processed instantly.
The trauma of the wave lingers long after the water recedes, shaping the collective memory and fear of an entire generation.
Architectural innovation is now our final refuge. Massive, fortress-like structures designed to withstand the crushing weight of the water.
Look beyond the ocean. The land itself often shows signs of the strain.
The flock acts as a single, biological seismograph, their mass flight an immediate and undeniable sign of impending danger.
Paradoxically, deeper waters right up to the coastline can mitigate the destructive shoaling effect, sparing some communities.
Location doesn't always rely on high-tech screens. Simple, clear, local signage is often the difference between life and death.
The shifting of the seabed stirs up ancient sediment, a murky cloud that can be tracked to locate the exact origin of a landslide tsunami.
Indigenous knowledge often contains accurate, generational observations of nature's wrath, coded into myths for cultural survival.
The eternal disconnect. Human joy and geological reality exist simultaneously, demanding constant...
The price of the missed signal was global recognition. Today, the world is building a true
No human structure can fully withstand the open ocean force of a major tsunami. Our efforts are...
Future city planning must be based on elevation and risk assessment, clearly segregating zones of habitation and unavoidable flood risk.
We are developing sensors capable of detecting water column changes less than the width of a human hair, giving us precious minutes of lead time.
Life must continue at the coast. Architecture must adapt, embracing elevation and flow rather than trying to block the inevitable power of the sea.
The danger is not exclusive to the Pacific. Enclosed bodies of water, though smaller, can...
Post-disaster recovery is crippled by utility failure. Infrastructure hardening is key to rapid response and humanitarian aid access.
Dilemma.
Birds, using their complex inner ear system, often detect the subtle tilt of the Earth's crust caused by the seismic shift beneath the water. The future of prediction lies in seeing what is normally hidden, visualizing the immense forces beneath the deep ocean floor in stunning detail.
The water transforms everyday objects, boats, cars, trees, into instruments of absolute
Even under the serene light of the moon, the ocean hides its deadly secret.
Scientists are now drilling directly into fault zones, using tiny changes in rock pore pressure as the ultimate, earliest form of warning signal.
Asking people to abandon ancestral land, even in the face of certain risk, is the hardest political decision.
For critical infrastructure, innovative engineering solutions aim to dissipate energy through movement, transforming the wave into manageable turbulence.
Communication failure is often a secondary killer. Resilient satellite-based emergency networks
must withstand the initial shock.
The water's return journey is a lesson in fluid dynamics, revealing channels and depressions on the seabed that
The historical record is our greatest teacher. Every past event, no matter how small, offers...
In the lab, light-skinned Caucasian females of disaster.
In the immediate aftermath, the challenge shifts from warning to rescue, navigating a landscape transformed by water and debris. S-Wave confirms the violence of the tectonic shift, providing the data needed for detailed forecast modeling of the tsunami wave height.
For the children, the wave is not a scientific term, but a vivid, formative memory. A
No area is truly safe. The wave can bend and refract, hitting communities thought to be shielded by land masses.
Saltwater inundation poisons freshwater sources, turning the post-tsunami environment into a public health crisis that lasts for years.
The absurdity of the destruction. Boats become weapons, houses become debris, defying all normal laws of physics and scale.
Ability is the new frontier. Scientists can now model the likelihood of various wave heights, informing long-term land use policy.
In the hours after, the simple loyalty of a trained animal becomes one of the most vital tools in the race against time beneath the wreckage.
The cost of preparation is often immense, but the cost of non-icon human.
The sea have a long memory. These events are not singular occurrences, but part of a violent, predictable cycle spanning millennia.
Elevated land is the only true refuge. When the earth speaks, the animals know to climb, trusting instinct over human logic.
The entire coastline is merely a temporary boundary, built from the debris of previous waves and awaiting the next geological reset.
Endurance is key. Our deep-sea watch must be tireless, maintained by self-sufficient technology, far from human help.
In the moment of panic, simplicity saves lives. Clear, concise instructions override the cognitive overload of fear.
In urban areas, existing infrastructure is repurposed as a rapid, high-capacity means of getting people above the maximum run-up height.
As global sea levels rise, the reach of even smaller tsunamis will extend further inland, threatening new, unprepared communities.
Preparation saves lives. In zones of continuous risk, the collective memory of danger is the most effective warning system of all.
The speed and the shape of the wave dictates its impact. A massive, non-breaking surge can cover.
Reconstruction is not just concrete and steel. It is the psychological act of reclaiming the land, trusting in the future, and healing the trauma.
As the climate changes, the rapid breakup of massive glaciers introduces another unpredictable source of local.
The ocean is beautiful, powerful, and forever unpredictable.
These signs are the silent guardians of the coastline, faded by the sun but holding the most critical knowledge in their bold lettering. Run-up is the ultimate danger metric, determining which communities are wiped clean and which remain just above the waterline.
In the open ocean, the wave is not a procrastinating elevation of the entire water column.
In some cultures, the learned response is to sail into the deep water, where the wave's energy is dispersed and less destructive.
The new generation of subsea cables integrates pressure, temperature, and seismic sensors.
The initial impact is a point of no return, where the world instantly transforms into a churning, violent maelstrom of destruction.
The recovery effort is a marathon of physical and emotional endurance, clearing the wreckage to make way for the future.
We are deploying hydrophones to eavesdrop on the Earth's inner movements, catching the acoustic signatures of impending rupture. The trenches are the battlegrounds of the tectonic plates, the deepest parts of our world where pressure and power are absolute.
Drills are designed to make the extraordinary ordinary. Repetition ensures that instinct takes over when fear threatens logic.
Responsible journalism saves lives. The media must be the clear, factual voice that guides the public through chaos.
Surviving the wave is one thing. Surviving the days and weeks after requires pre-positioned food, water, and medical supplies.
The network is not perfect. Data gaps and unreliable sensors remain the weak links in our global defense chain.
The watermark is a permanent scar, a humble memorial that dictates the limits of our future habitation in that zone.
In the absence of official help, community spirit became the first responder, a raw, organic display of human compassion and courage. Nature provides its own defense. Coastal forests, particularly mangroves, act as natural speed bumps, absorbing energy and debris. Some communities discover that their land has permanently sunk, making them perpetually vulnerable to even normal high tides and future waves.
The search zone becomes an ever-moving, unstable sea of wreckage, demanding highly specialized training and technology to navigate.
The trauma is not confined to the ocean. The energy released can even disturb the atmosphere, a sign of the Earth's total system shock.
This device uses sound to measure water velocity and current changes deep below the surface, searching for
the traditional fleets, the lifeblood of coastal communities, are often the first to be crushed by the raw.
Urban design must evolve, centering communities around the safest terrain, making the natural high ground the focal point of life.
Personal responsibility means having a comprehensive emergency kit, food, water, radio, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Deep within the ocean floor, layers of sand and debris tell the story of past mega tsunamis.
The first wave is rarely the last. Subsequent, sometimes larger, waves can arrive hours later.
The environmental crisis post-tsunami is staggering, a massive task of sorting and removing billions of tons of debris.
Certain critical ports employ massive tidal gates, designed not to stop the wave, but to divert its.
Protecting and restoring natural buffer zones is the most cost-effective, sustainable form of coastal defense we possess.
Under the same vast sky, we stand vigilant, forever humbled by the forces of the earth.
A hydrostatic pressure change is the first clue. Fish feel the water column rising or falling over them long before any wave forms.
Like a bathtub sloshing, Some harbors can amplify the wave's energy, creating localized havoc far exceeding the open coast threat.
The relationship with the ocean is forever altered. New traditions emerge, born of respect.
Securing potable water is the immediate priority. Elevated, hardened water infrastructure prevents saline intrusion and ensures survival. Microfossils from deep-sea environments found on land are undeniable evidence of massive inundation from past waves. The present peace is built upon past tragedy. The lesson is permanent. The memory must be maintained for future generations. The economic devastation lingers as the land itself becomes infertile, taking decades to recover from the saline shock. Rapid deployment is key. Autonomous drones can quickly fill warning gaps, providing critical data points in remote areas.
The search moves underwater, navigating a maze of collapsed structures and zero visibility in the murky, post-tsunami environment.
A storm surge, though destructive, moves slower and lacks the overwhelming, continent-spanning momentum of a true seismic wave.
Every stone, every corner becomes a site of remembrance, ensuring the story of the lost is never forgotten by the community.
The wave compresses into a terrifying hydraulic jump, a violent, breaking wall of water that can travel miles inland with unstoppable force.
Financial industry was forced to recalculate risk, leading to massive changes in global reinsurance and coastal property values.
The pilings are the evidence of the force, the only remaining testament to the structural integrity that briefly withstood the wave's initial power. Lasers now provide micron-level precision, offering the clearest, most immediate glimpse into the slow, inexorable movement of the tectonic plates.
Motorways and rail embankments, originally for transport, are now critical, human-made topographic features acting as secondary protective barriers.
Distance offers little safety. The Pacific is interconnected, capable of delivering a deadly wave to shores thousands of miles from the epicenter.
The scale of the disaster required unprecedented international cooperation, often hindered by competing protocols and political rivalries.
In the midst of universal chaos, these small, intact relics become powerful symbols of the past. The Earth continues its violent dance. Our vigilance must be total, our memory long, and our preparation absolute.
Whales, the giants of the deep, often detect the acoustic energy released by large fault movements.
The wave's current transforms into a transoceanic river of debris, connecting distant shores through a tragic trail of wreckage.
A single point of failure can trigger a chain reaction, turning the natural disaster into a complete technological blackout, blinding responders.
Robotics provides the eyes where human risk is too great, quickly creating detailed 3D maps of the devastation for coordinated rescue.
Names are a permanent tally of the human cost, a silent demand for unceasing vigilance and respect for the sea's power.
The final defensive layer is the home itself, a reinforced sanctuary designed to withstand the initial surge and provide temporary refuge.
Threat to the Atlantic remains, with geological instability in volcanic regions posing a long-term, low-probability, high-impact risk.
The geological evidence is undeniable. The ocean reached far inland, leaving behind.
The communal act of sharing trauma transforms the isolated burden of survival into a collective memory of resilience.
This is the shield we have built, a tapestry of international technology and constant human effort, listening to the depths of the Pacific. Even the robust structures of the reef suffer under the immense current, yet nature's regenerative power begins its slow, quiet work immediately.
Tilt meters detect the subtle, pre-seismic tilting of the seafloor, the very first bend in the plate before the final snap.
Emerged features, like natural sandbars, offer an invisible defense, breaking the wave's initial momentum before it can reach the coast.
Infrastructure in remote villages is often vulnerable and limited, making evacuation a race against time on narrow, winding roads.
The wreckage is a three-dimensional labyrinth, requiring specialized tools and immense physical risk to find those trapped within.
Low-tech and high-tech must work in harmony. Simple, reliable, battery-powered systems are the last resort when the grid fails.
Clear identification of critical lines, water, gas, electric, speeds up recovery, restoring essential services to survivors.
Geology is the ultimate truth-teller. The presence of deep-sea layers on land provides indisputable proof of past inundations.
We educate the children on 3 key actions. They must immediately drop,
cover their heads, and hold on.
The ultimate lesson: retreat. Creating a permanent, uninhabited green zone between humanity and the sea's fury.
The ocean's surface can show subtle signs of the massive tectonic plate movement beneath, pressure leaks, and localized turbulence.
Every future coastal structure is now informed by complex mathematics, modeling the precise failure points and optimal resistance design.
The seismic energy travels through the land, causing large, unexpected standing waves, or seeches, in inland bodies of water.
Financial preparation is as vital as physical preparation, spreading the monumental economic risk across the global community.
In the absence of a proper grave, the ruin itself becomes the memorial, a sacred ground of remembrance and loss.
The choice of material and design is a matter of life and death, reinforcing the need for building codes based on scientific risk.
The wave's energy is not uniform. Complex factors, depth, coast shape, distance, create...
The hours are long, the conditions brutal, but the commitment to finding every life remains the driving force for these silent heroes.
Allowing the water to flow through the structure rather than resisting it can prevent total collapse and protect upper floor occupants.
The ocean leaves behind its calling card. Humble marine life, transported far beyond their natural habitat.
Prediction has moved from broad estimates to precise, localized timing, giving local authorities the exact window of warning needed.
Even in the absence of written records, the collective memory, encoded in ancient stories, holds the crucial pattern of mega events.
Defense is a long-term commitment. Hardening the coastline against both erosion and sudden wave impact requires massive, continuous investment.
Every surviving piece of electronic equipment, a camera, a phone, a dash cam, is a potential eyewitness.
Creating new, artificial topography is a necessary measure, providing elevation where natural high ground is non-existent.
Topography is the wave's greatest variable. A sheer cliff may reflect the energy, while a shallow beach allows the water to flood.
Complacency is the silent killer. It is human nature to ignore threats that haven't materialized in living memory, despite the geological record.
In the immediate aftermath, the simple gifts of clean water and humanitarian aid become the most profound acts of human connection and survival.
The ocean is a canvas of immense beauty and raw power, demanding our respect.
Genesis of the wave, a massive, silent lurch of the Earth's crust, displacing trillions of gallons of water in an instant.
The sea's violence is also its art. The remnants of destruction are slowly transformed into artifacts of endurance and time.
Where vertical evacuation is impossible, reinforced subterranean shelters offer a final, brief sanctuary from the wave's crushing force.
The wave respects no border. The defense must be a single, integrated international response, speaking in one voice.
The flooded street becomes a treacherous river, requiring precise navigation and immense caution to reach the stranded.
Watch the debris on the left.
Eliminating aerial cables removes a major point of failure, ensuring that communication and power can be restored rapidly post-inundation.
The near field is defined by devastating height and rapid arrival. The far field, though lower, retains it.
The memory of the lost is the fuel for the living, a poignant, enduring motivation to honor their sacrifice through preparedness.
Healing the invisible wounds is the longest, most challenging part of recovery, requiring specialized care for collective and individual grief.
The engineering commitment is absolute, building massive physical defenses to redirect the sea's fury back into the deep. Array synchronization is key. Multiple sensors working as one provide the data fidelity necessary to distinguish a seismic surge from simple tides.
The most unnerving warning, a sudden, unnatural silence, the air, the animals, and the sea itself holding its breath before the final shattering blow.
Not all waves are giant killers. Small, localized surges can still cause significant damage to both.
Local volunteers and amateur scientists often provide crucial ground-level data, filling the gaps left by expensive government sensors.
Clarity saves lives. The safe zone must be instantly recognizable. The highest, most fortified.
The shift from traditional building materials to modern, robust structures is an architectural acceptance of permanent, catastrophic risk.
The threat is not exclusive to the sea. Man-made water sources, when failing catastrophically,
The smallest tools often hold the greatest utility. A simple whistle can cut through the chaos, guiding rescuers to those trapped in rubble.
Satellites record the permanent geographic transformation of the coast, documenting the erosion and sediment deposition caused by the wave.
Under the calm pull of the moon, the Earth's plates continue their grinding dance.
Tilt is the first move. The seafloor bends slightly just before the final rupture, a hypersensitive precursor to the massive quake.
The deepest tragedy is the separation, the impossible task of finding and identifying loved ones in the aftermath of total destruction.
Coastal instability, often triggered by rain or minor quakes, can cause massive land movements that suddenly displace vast amounts of water.
The decision to shelter or flee is a constant calculation of risk, balancing the danger of the wave against the danger of traffic chaos.
Ecological resilience is a necessary form of defense, ensuring that the natural buffer zone can survive repeated saline inundation.
Satellites provide the bird's-eye view, detecting the subtle, long wavelength hump of a tsunami wave moving across the vast ocean.
Light against the darkness. The small, simple act of remembrance.
Technology becomes the personal guide, using the mobile network to overcome confusion and provide immediate, localized evacuation instructions.
The cycle continues. Life returns to the coast, forever aware. The Cascadia Subduction Zone, a sleeping giant off the US coast, represents the single largest.
We are finally seeing the deep architecture of the Earth, mapping the dense, locked segments of the fault that are most likely to rupture.
Fjord geometry can amplify the wave's speed and height dramatically, creating a deadly squeeze effect in narrow, deep waterways.
The violence of the earthquake is the physical impossibility of standing, forcing people to the ground, a vital clue that the largest waves are coming.
In the crucial first hours, spontaneous, community-led action often creates the first path to safety, overcoming infrastructure damage.
Vertical escape must be fast and universally accessible. Simple, reinforced ladders offer a quick route above the waterline.
The true devastation is the loss of productive land, creating a long-term food security crisis for affected coastal communities.
Simple visual cues for children: shake, drop, roar, ensure that even the youngest citizens understand the immediate action required.
The Earth's constant low-level background noise can be analyzed for subtle shifts in rock stress, a hyper-early warning system.
The calm is deceptive. Every quiet wave holds the memory of the immense,
Final security. These specialized doors are designed to withstand the massive hydrostatic pressure of a full run-up wave for hours.
In the minutes after, the radio becomes the sole connection to the outside world, providing essential survival information.
Wave energy spreads in complex patterns, allowing destruction to fan out from a single point of entry into the coastline.
Ancient ruins often contain definitive geological layers, proof that these catastrophic events are part of the long human history of the sea.
The clearing of the harbor is the first step toward economic recovery, allowing fishing fleets and commercial traffic to resume.
Securing clean water supply is paramount. Elevated cisterns protect against saline contamination and provide critical reserves.
Speed dictates destruction. A fast-breaking wave has a massive kinetic impact. A slower surge can simply...
The ground itself fails, turning solid earth into a dangerous slurry. It just gave way. Everything turned into this dangerous mud.
LiDAR precisely measures the changes in elevation and run-up height, providing critical data for updating future risk maps.
The seasons change, but the geological forces remain constant.
The grinding of the tectonic plates has its own sonic signature, a low-frequency song of immense pressure that we are learning to decode. The immediate aftermath is a landscape of sharp, hidden dangers, making the simple act of running a treacherous feat of endurance.
The ocean is a giant echo chamber. Wave energy reflects off the deep slopes, creating complex...
Art becomes a therapeutic tool,
a window into the deep-seated fear and the emotional processing of the massive, sudden trauma.
Medical response must be rapid and resilient, capable of treating trauma and infection in a chaotic, resource-deprived environment.
Visibility in the post-disaster low-light chaos is essential for navigation and emergency access. The angle of the fault rupture is critical. A gentle, lower-angle thrust can create a massive wave with minimal...
Simple, calorie-dense survival rations become the most precious commodity in the hours and days after the wave cripples supply chains.
We're learning to see the seafloor's activity by processing the echoes and acoustic signatures of the moving plates in real time.
The Silent Pact, humanity's concrete defense against the ocean's endless power. Fixed, resilient deep-sea platforms are the new nodes of the warning network, constantly streaming seismic and pressure data back to shore.
The sound is overwhelming, a sustained roar.
The volume is the absolute out-signature of mega wave.
The immediate aftermath is still dangerous. Aftershocks can dislodge unstable debris.
The tone must be distinct, non-ignorable, and capable of cutting through the ambient noise of a busy coastal city.
For the lucky few who rode the wave out at sea, the return to a transformed, destroyed coastline is a profound, shocking realization.
Protecting the power infrastructure is vital. Elevated stations prevent water intrusion and speed up the restoration of the electrical grid.
Sometimes two waves arrive simultaneously, combining their energy into a single, massive, and unexpected crest of destruction.
Beyond the physical trauma, the immediate threat of hypothermia is critical. Warmth and comfort are the first steps to physical recovery.
We must plan for the largest event scientifically possible, even if it has never occurred in recorded human history.
The ocean is alive with hidden signals. Even the bioluminescent plankton.
Post-disaster landscape requires immense logistical power, deploying heavy equipment to quickly clear the arterial routes for aid. The spiritual and cultural relics hold immense meaning, providing a necessary connection to faith and identity amidst the physical destruction.
A wide, shallow shelf can help dissipate the wave's energy, transforming it into a destructive surge rather than a towering crest.
The scale of displacement requires immediate, organized humanitarian response, providing temporary housing and community support for thousands.
Technology extends the search into the dark, using heat and thermal signatures to locate those trapped and minimize the rescue time.
Critical infrastructure must be placed outside the reach of the maximum credible wave, ensuring essential services remain functional. For Indonesia, the disaster was near-field and sudden. Warning time was measured in minutes, leaving little room for error or delay.
The simple, firm grasp of a hand is the most basic human connection, a sign that the chaos is over and help has arrived.
Restoring a sense of safety and normalcy through play is a crucial part of helping children process the immense, terrifying loss of control.
We are forever observers of this colossal power, learning from every wave.
Drilling into the fault itself reveals the composition and the stress points of the plate, providing direct data on the rupture potential.
Even in destruction, the sea leaves behind its fragile tokens of beauty, a quiet counterpoint to the memory of its power.
The most destructive tsunamis don't break. They arrive as a rapid, massive surge of water. The height.
Signage must be universal, highly visible, and frequently maintained, ensuring the warning system is always functional and trustworthy.
In the chaos of the aftermath, a clear, authoritative voice cutting through the noise can coordinate a chaotic scene into an orderly retreat.
Protecting personal documents and irreplaceable assets ensures a faster, less complicated return to normalcy for survivors. The Pacific, bordered by the Ring of Fire, remains the epicenter of the threat, but no coastline is entirely immune to geological shock.
The water preserves some memories while destroying others. The rescue of a photo album is often the rescue of a family's history.
Integrating ancient wisdom with modern science creates a more robust, culturally accepted, and effective community warning system.
The beauty of the morning conceals the night's secrets. Our vigilance must...
Visual confirmation from a safe vantage point is the final, critical step before issuing the highest level, most urgent evacuation order.
The greatest relief is the water's retreat, but it is often a brief, false sense of security.
The wave bends around landmasses, focusing its energy into certain bays and harbors, while surprisingly sparing others.
True resilience requires planning for generations, accepting that some areas must be gradually relinquished to the sea's inevitable power.
The sheer weight of the debris requires specialized, powerful equipment to move.
Steady, hold it right there. We're clear underneath.
Ready access to critical supplies, tools, ropes, and first aid is essential when the home's interior may be inaccessible or compromised.
The remote. The deep ocean impact scenario represents an absolute maximum credible threat.
The high reflectivity of the blanket is both practical for warmth and vital for visibility, helping search teams locate survivors in the dark.
Genetic analysis of transported marine organisms provides irrefutable proof of the wave's exact route and maximum reach inland.
The relentless power of the ocean remains the greatest force on Earth, demanding eternal respect.
Deep-sea boreholes give us direct access to the fault's internal mechanics, measuring the subtle pressure that dictates the timing of the next rupture.
Salvaged memories are the greatest treasures, connecting the broken present with the whole past, fueling the emotional will to rebuild.
Rough, uneven seafloor surfaces act like a natural break, scattering the wave's energy and slowing its momentum before it reaches the coast.
Art provides a nonverbal outlet for the immense psychological pressure, allowing young minds to process the terrifying images and feelings.
Small, agile drones can quickly deliver vital instructions and information to pockets of survivors cut off by floodwaters and debris.
Automatic shutoff minimizes post-disaster risks, fire, explosion, and mass contamination by immediately isolating compromised lines. Locked faults accumulate immense, sudden-release energy, the source of the most devastating mega-quakes and mega-tsunamis. Every flag is a triumph, a small, immediate marker of a life found, and a signal that the search continues in that critical area.
CPR training provides a realistic, high-pressure environment for responders to practice decision-making and coordination without physical risk.
These are the new pyramids of survival, modern fortresses designed not for war, but for the
personal survival tools, small and compact, can be the difference between being swept away and securing a temporary, waterborne refuge.
Landmasses can provide natural shielding, creating pockets of relative calm directly behind the barrier from the incoming wave's main thrust.
Citizen reports, photos, and real-time social media posts can provide valuable, immediate confirmation of the wave's initial arrival and impact location.
Visibility is zero. The search relies on high-power lighting and specialized acoustic sensors to penetrate the thick, sediment-laden water. Bridges are designed to break in a controlled manner, preventing the creation of massive debris dams that amplify the wave's force inland. The instantaneous collapse of a massive, submerged volcanic crater can displace water with unparalleled, sudden-onset violence.
Command, this is Rescue 1. We have multiple casualties at the East Sector collapse, requesting immediate medical and heavy lift support.
Rapid estimation of the quake's magnitude dictates the entire response. Every minute saved is a crucial life-saving window for evacuation.
Magnitude 9.2.
The cycle of the tide continues. A comforting, familiar rhythm that masks.
Subtle chemical changes, gas release, temperature shift can sometimes precede the major fault rupture.
The reward for adherence to scientific risk assessment is the preservation of life and property, a silent testament to preparedness. The geometry of the coastline can concentrate the wave's energy, causing the greatest destruction at the subtle corners and edges of landmasses.
Tree rings can record the sudden death of coastal forests due to saltwater inundation, providing a precise timeline of past destructive waves.
The final ascent is a physical test of will, a desperate climb for altitude, knowing the water is rushing just below.
Building on stable, natural high ground is paramount. Soft, reclaimed land is prone to liquefaction and total structural failure.
The type of fault movement is key. Vertical displacement is the primary engine of the mega tsunami threat.
Assessing the structural integrity of remaining infrastructure is vital before allowing rescue teams or vehicles to proceed.
Warnings must be culturally appropriate and instantly understood by every demographic, utilizing local dialects and traditional visual cues.
The moon's pull, the Earth's stress, the forces are universal, demanding a vigilance that spans. The warning system's foundation must be immovable, secured against the immense forces of the deep-sea currents and seismic activity.
The gratitude of the survivors is a powerful, emotional anchor, fueling the relentless effort of the rescue teams.
Gracias.
Low-lying coastal plains suffer the longest, deepest inundation, with the water's spread dictated by the gentleness of the slope.
The worst-case scenario involves multiple fault segments rupturing simultaneously, creating a combined
Evacuation requires specialized planning and assistance for vulnerable populations, ensuring that no one is left behind in the race for high ground.
Digital preservation protects the cultural and historical memory of a community from the physical destruction of the wave.
The wave's initial shape and source geometry dictates its focus, determining where the greatest.
The simple act of restoring clean water is the foundation of public health and long-term recovery in the devastated area.
The location and dating of shipwrecks can provide historical evidence of ancient, powerful currents or catastrophic waves that struck the coast.
The rhythm of the ocean is ancient and powerful. We are mere passengers.
Now, gas release from the deep seafloor can precede a major rupture, providing a subtle chemical warning signature for scientists to analyze.
The act of rebuilding is an affirmation of life, a defiant statement that the human spirit will.
The friction and drag of the shallow seabed slows the wave, forcing its energy upward into the towering, destructive crest.
Tending to the immediate mental trauma is as critical as physical first aid, ensuring long-term emotional recovery for survivors.
The recovery of irreplaceable sentimental items often provides a deeper sense of closure and connection to the lost past.
Rooftop steel cages offer a final, secure, easily visible refuge point for immediate rescue after the wave has passed.
Subduction zones are the primary drivers of mega tsunamis, where one plate thrusts violently beneath the other.
Protecting the access to critical infrastructure, even simple junction boxes, is essential for rapid restoration of services.
Old maritime records and historical accounts provide invaluable data points, extending the tsunami catalog far beyond the modern seismic era.
The ocean is a boundless, unknowable frontier, demanding respect for its immense scale and the power it conceals in its depths.
The debris line is a permanent record of the wave's maximum height, a precise measurement of the danger that must inform all future building codes.
The trauma remains, but so does the inevitable pull of the sea, a relationship of fear.
Altered harbors can experience complex, multiple wave impacts, as the energy is trapped and bounces between the vertical walls.
Pre-disaster mapping provides the baseline data needed to model flood depths and precisely plan evacuation routes and safe zones.
Resourcefulness and ingenuity in the aftermath allow survivors to create temporary safety and normalcy from the materials of destruction.
Visibility and accessibility are crucial in the dark. Clear lighting ensures structures are easily located by rescue teams. Rogue waves are terrifying but localized. The tsunami is a vast, system-wide displacement of the entire ocean column.
The final security check, ensuring that the life being rescued is firmly secured for the challenging extraction from the debris field.
You're safe now. We're moving.
Creative expression allows survivors to find language for the unspeakable, transforming chaos into narrative and loss into memory.
The planet's raw power is eternal. Our only defense is knowledge, unity, and an
Above, the scale of the destruction is overwhelming. A vast, churning tapestry of wreckage and water, demanding a coordinated aerial search.
Even minor debris can cripple small vessels, turning a simple escape into a life-threatening struggle against entanglement and delay. Massive, submerged mountains and seamounts act as geological mirrors, reflecting the wave's energy back into the ocean basin.
The long-term health of the ecosystem relies on successful recovery, a slow, multi-decade process of rebuilding the natural buffer zones.
Secure storage of vital documents is the first step in restoring identity and legal status to those who lost everything.
Perforated roadbeds allow water to flow freely, minimizing the road's resistance and reducing the overall wave drag inland. The map is a symbol of guidance and direction, a clear path out of the chaos and toward the designated safety zone.
Follow this route, you'll be safe.
Personal accounts provide the human detail, the emotional and social context necessary to understand the true, long-term cost of the disaster.
The ocean is a symbol of both profound beauty.
These immense, engineered barriers are the final line of urban defense, designed to seal off critical harbors and protect major infrastructure.
The sunrise is a simple, profound promise that destruction's temporary and the resilience of life will always return to the coast.
The original wave can split its energy, creating multiple, lower amplitude but equally dangerous waves arriving at different times.
Massive ancient sand deposits, or chevrons, provide controversial but powerful evidence higher from the Hyannis.
Restoring basic human needs, warmth, food, and community, is the ultimate act of defiance against the chaos of the disaster. Decentralized, hardened microgrids ensure that a single point of failure cannot cripple the entire power supply for rescue efforts.
Submerged, unstable volcanoes are ticking time bombs.
Access to clean water is the first step in preventing disease outbreaks and ensuring the health of the surviving population.
Traditional designs, refined over centuries, can offer surprising resilience and stability in turbulent.
The mark is set. The lesson is learned. The community thrives, forever mindful of the day